One more time. And now give it up together for the Director, CEO, Australian Mining Consultant, Shri Entry Hall. Everybody, raise your hands together for Entry. Thank you so much, Principal Secretary, Mines and Petroleum, Shri T. Ravikant. And I request to you to kindly join us here on stage, on podium for context setting.
Rajasthan is rising, replete, responsible and ready. We are replete with 82 minerals, highest in the country. 94% potash, 100% lead, zinc, wollastonite. More than 90% silver, gypsum, rock phosphate. And huge oil and gas reserves. But we are not careless about resources, we are responsible. So we have our MSAN policy 2024, mineral policy 2024, encouraging these sustainable mining practices. And finally, we are ready. We are ready to explore new frontiers, uranium, gold, and rare earth elements. Very good afternoon. Honorable Minister, Union of India, Ministry of Coal and Mines, Shri G. Kishan Reddy ji. Honorable Minister, Shri Babulal Kharadi ji. Distinguished panelists, our officers and investors and friends from the press. Very good afternoon to you, and I welcome all of you to this thematic session on sustainable mining, safeguarding the future. This is a famous quote from our father of nation. I don't have to explain it further. We all know it. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. This is the mool mantra of our session today, sustainable mining session. All key principles of sustainable mining are based on this mool mantra. Be it environment responsibility, all these principles across all stages of mining. We have about 8 stages of mining. You all know that. Exploration, development, active mining, disposal of OB, ore extraction and transportation, mineral processing and beneficiation, wants to set up a MSAN unit using overburden lying on the government land, flat 50% royalty. Earlier we used to charge full royalty. And in auction of these dumps, reserve price is just 50% of the dead rent. The huge incentive for MSAN players. Already you'll be happy to know that we have already signed about 26 MOUs for MSAN, covering about 250 crores of investment, and lot more in the pipeline. And we have a star rating for minor minerals and areas for biodiversity conservation. And we have Rajasthan Mineral Policy 2024. We have recently launched along with this MSAND policy. There we have e-auction for overburden dumps. We also have Rajasthan Investment Promotion Policy 2024, which encourages recovery of valuable metals from tailings. And state government is going to set up 2 centers of excellence. One is for ceramics and another is for rare earth elements. So these 2 are in the pipeline. Now let's see some of the best practices in the state of sustainable mining. We have lots of examples. We are just mentioning 3-4 of them. First, Hindustan Zinc. We have CEO Hindustan Zinc here. They inaugurated 4,000 KLD zero liquid discharge plant, and they use EV trucks and LNG trucks for their finished goods transportation. KN India Vedanta, they use ESP flooding technique for enhanced oil recovery. And we have our own state public sector unit, RSMM. They upgraded low-grade rock phosphate from 16% P2O5 to high-grade 31.5% P2O5. And they are manufacturing M-sand using overburden. Also, they have 100 megawatts of wind energy with them. And there is another company, Eco Bounty Highway Private Limited. They are producing 400 metric tons of chemical gypsum by using cement waste. Now let's see, what's happening in the country. There are examples, mostly reclamation work and plantation work, like Kayakal Vatika, Jharkhand. We have Vedanta's Sakvali mine, Goa. JSW Steel, Vijayanagar works. And NMDC Limited, Chhattisgarh, mostly like they are planting millions of plants every year, and they are following these sustainable mining practices. Let's see at the global level. Global level, we have Kiruna mine, Sweden. They want to be carbon free by 2045, and they use AI-driven resource optimization. And Bingham Canyon mine, they use advanced slope monitoring system. And we have examples from Australia as well as Indonesia. Lots of the sustainable mining practices. Now, the most important part of today's session is our panel discussion. We have a very impressive panel here, both from India and abroad, and from the state. So they will be discussing main 4 points towards zero waste mining, eco-friendly mining, and innovation in sustainable mining, and technical interventions in sustainable mining. Especially these technical interventions, there are 6 areas in exploration: drone AI and geospatial analysis, and autonomous mining trucks and drilling systems, concentration and refining, flotation, leaching, magnetic separation, and renewable energy storage and use, recycling to recover valuable minerals, and material handling. So these are the technical interventions they are going to discuss. Let's hope the panel discussion will add to our knowledge of sustainable mining. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Secretary, Mines and Petroleum, Government of Rajasthan. Everybody raise your hands together one more time for Shri T. Ravikant. Ladies and gentlemen, now, kindly raise the volume. Check. Raise the volume. Check. All right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, now please put your hands together for the next presentation, which is all about sustainable mining. Give a big round of applause and please welcome GM Head HCL Geotech Mining Operation, Shri David Joseph Finn. Big round of applause, everybody.
Okay, excuse me. Okay. Perfect. And just this key to move on?
Once you get green for forward, red for back.
On this key?
And this key is forward, backward.
Okay, no worries. Thank you. We won't bother with this slide. It's all about me. You can read about it later. So what I wanted to speak about today was give you a brief introduction to Hindustan Zinc's mining operations, give you a definition of sustainability, so we've got somewhere to work from, then talk about the role of geotechnical engineering in sustainability, and I want to discuss two major and significant mining-related incidents that relate to geotechnical engineering, but also relate to sustainability. Then I want to speak about my forte, where can a professional at the mine site contribute to sustainability, not on the huge scale, not with huge technology differences, but with small changes in methodologies and the way we work to improve things and make things more sustainable. I'm going to address that with examples from Hindustan Zinc, and then I'm going to wrap up with a series of conclusions. So Hindustan Zinc operates, it's the second largest lead, zinc, and silver producer in the world, and the largest within India. It has significant reserves and resources. The largest reserves and resources, second largest reserves and resources of zinc and lead in the world, and it also has an integrated business with mines, mills, and smelters. It produces 18.7 million tonnes of ore from underground from 8 operations. And this is, you think about 18.7 million tonnes from underground, this is a huge endeavour. They're all located in Rajasthan and all operated by Hindustan Zinc. So when Hindustan Zinc has set a series of sustainability goals, and these include water management, they include safety, they include reducing CO2 emissions, maximising the positive social impact of mining, and diversity and inclusion policies. So we get to sustainable development, and what this means, and this is probably the best definition I could find, which goes back to 1987. It's development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. When we're talking about mineral projects, they should be financially profitable, they should be technically appropriate, environmentally sound, and socially responsible. Now we get to my forte, geotechnical engineering. Geotechnical engineering in mining deals with the stability of open pit walls, underground mining excavations, the stability of those, stability of tailing storage facilities, and the stability of the waste dumps that we produce. Any failure of these can have a significant impact on the health and safety, mine production, the environment, the economics of the operation, and can lead to reputational damage for the company and the industry. So I'm going to talk about two such failures which illustrate this impact. There's the Mariana Dam collapse in Brazil and the Bingham Canyon slide in Utah. So on November the 15th, 2015, at the Germano iron ore mine in southeast Brazil, there was a tailings dam wall failure. It released off almost 1.4 million cubic meters of toxic tailings into the environment, killing 19 people, displacing hundreds, and polluting drinking water sources. It destroyed almost 1,500 hectares of forest, and it spread pollutants downstream for a distance of 668 kilometres. Recently, on October the 25th, 2024, the joint owners BHP and Vale signed an agreement with the Brazilian government to pay almost $30 billion in compensation for the dam collapse. Now we talk about Bingham Canyon, and this failure has positives and negatives to it. On April the 10th, 2013, a mass flow of rock occurred in the Bingham Canyon mine in Utah, USA. The incident occurred as two events, 1.5 hours apart, and involved 140 million tons of rock. Fortunately, there were no injuries occurred. There was damage to infrastructure and equipment, however, but because it was prepared, the mine was able to resume production relatively shortly after the failure. Now look at the positives from this. There was an excellent and multi-tiered monitoring system was in place to identify that the failure onset. It was able to track the failure and accurately predict when the failure would actually occur. There was a very robust management plan in place which aligned and used this monitoring. And the potential for the failure occurring was well communicated to site staff, senior management, and the regulatory bodies. The negatives were the style of failure was incorrectly forecast, and the size and run out of the failure was underestimated. So when we look at events like these, they have a significant impact on sustainability. Their health and safety, environmental, economic, and reputational implications. The second example, though, shows how a good, well-designed system with monitoring, planning, and communication can greatly mitigate the impact of even extreme and inevitable failures. Now, these are both failures on the major scale. They're events that grabbed world attention. The BHP Vale compensation deal was very recently reported in all the financial papers. But what can an engineer, geologist, or a mine operator do that's going to contribute to sustainability within their operation and at their mine site? What I'm going to do over the next few slides is provide examples where the team at Hindustan Zinc has contributed at their individual mines to improving sustainability. I'm going to start with data collection, because without the data, you can't do very much. And I think this is going to be a recurring theme when we come to the panel discussion. So now we've got technology available that allows us relatively quickly to collect survey, geology, and geotechnical data at the mine face. Systems like mine vision systems use LiDAR and photogrammetry to capture accurately before we apply the ground support, especially things like shotcrete, which obscures the rock and blocks the vision of people coming later. This is real time, it's 3D reference data. It enhances ore body dilution, structural interpretation, and excavation and stability, improving ore body delineation or ore body recovery, and reducing waste rock mining. Then we look at, once we've got this data, what do we do with it? Now we've got software available for interpreting complex geology and geotechnical environments. They can forecast the location of economic ore, the grade of the ore, the likelihood of encountering geology structures which may be adverse to mining, and assessing the ground conditions ahead of mining. Programs like Leapfrog Geo is one such package. They allow the practitioner to do implicit and explicit modelling of rock types, structures, and rock mass quality. We use numerical modelling to forecast the rock mass response to mining. So before we actually mine, we can run complicated numerical models which allow us to forecast what the conditions are going to be ahead of the mining. And to use the old saying, forewarned is forearmed. This modelling can be used to select mining methods and optimise the mining sequence. So I'm going to speak a little bit now about how we've worked on the narrow vein mining. So when we encounter ore bodies that are narrow, say 1 to 4 metres wide, they require selective mining methods to minimise dilution, because we don't want the waste rock coming into the ore stream, and we don't want low-grade material being added to which would reduce the overall grade. So we look at things like locating and profiling development to align with the stoping boundaries, drilling holes parallel to the walls, ensuring accurate drilling with blast hole surveys, doing the blast design and using blast monitoring to minimise the damage of the blasting to the stope walls, but still break the ore so that we can retrieve it and transport it. And lastly, we want to ensure we've got cable bolting in place to maintain the stability of the walls. So we get to one of my favourites from the point of view of sustainability, and that's the disposal of waste rock and tailings underground. HZL over the last few years has become a leader in underhand open stoping. This involves backfilling the overlying stope and then mining the stope below it and to the sides of it. Now, underhand stoping gives us several advantages. Number one, we're working with a material, usually cemented paste fill, which is an engineered product. It has consistent strength properties and it's relatively homogeneous when compared to the rock mass that we've replaced with it. The fill material is tailings from the mill with a binder added, cement or fly ash. This is added to give that stability and keep it solid. It provides stable crown, pillars which above us, and walls to the side of us. And the cement and fly ash content can be adjusted for the stope requirements, with high strength plugs at the base and lower strength fills forming the future walls. It improves sustainability by being a safer mining method, allowing for more favourable and flexible mining sequence and placing tailings underground, which otherwise would be put into surface dams. So you reduce the surface footprint of mining. The mine has gone and reduced cement content, which also has a greenhouse gas emissions added to its production, added other binders to minimise the cement content, but still ensure the stability of the cemented paste fill. Currently, we're looking at co-disposal options of waste rock and the paste fill. And that will mean that we do not have to truck the waste fill to surface or and we can dispose of it underground. So this is just a schematic. It shows the overhand mining sequence in the upper picture and the underhand mining sequence in the lower diagram. These are just some of the work that's gone into ensuring that we can reduce the amount of cement we're putting in, but still maintain the strengths we require for stability. Now, the conclusions. So the first up, and very importantly, mining is required to maintain and improve the lives of billions of people. Mining sustainability will improve through the introduction of new technologies and the incremental advancements in adapting to conditions and refining the methods we use underground and in the open pit. Both will be driven by the demand for minerals and metals as the standard of living rises around the world, economic competition, society norms demanding that health and safety are of paramount importance, the increased value recognised in preserving the environment, the importance of the communities we operate within who retain our licence to operate in their neighbourhoods. The incremental improvements leverage developing technologies. They improve methodologies we are currently using, and they will contribute to sustainability, a sustainable mining future through geology, geotechnical engineering, mine planning, and the implementation of the mine plan. At Hindustan Zinc Limited, we want to apply leading practices to ensure we remain a responsible and respected entity for all our shareholders. Thank you.
Indeed, it was a great presentation. We had a great time. One more time, raise your hands together, everybody, for GM Head HCL Geotech Mining Operation, Mr. David Josephine. And thank you so much, everybody, all the delegates, all the dignitaries for joining us here on stage. Thank you so much. I request everybody to kindly be comfortable here. Thank you once again. After this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to enjoy the panel discussion. Everybody, please raise your hands together for our panelist, Dr. Ranjit Rath. Dr. Ranjit Rath is the CMD of Oil India Limited and a distinguished geoscientist with over 26 years of experience. Please put your hands together and welcome him. I request everybody to raise your hands together for Mr. David Joseph Finn. Everybody, please put your hands together and welcome on stage Shri David Finn, currently working as General Manager Geotech in Hindustan Zinc as expert and prior in joining HZL. And now it's time to call upon stage. Everybody, please put your hands together and welcome Shriman Satish Jha, an accomplished mining engineer, has over 33 years of experience in the coal industry. Please put your hands together and welcome him. Now I request Mr. Andrew Hall. Mr. Andrew Hall is renowned mining consultant with over 25 years of experience in this feasibility studies. Everybody, raise your hands together one more time. And now I request Mr. Naresh Soni, an IIT Kharagpur alumnus. Everybody, please put your hands together. Mr. Naresh Soni, advisor, TechSmith. Now, please put your hands together and welcome Shri Akshadeep Mathur. Mr. Akshadeep Mathur is a mechanical engineer with 45 years of experience in mining. Please put your hands together one more time and raise your hands for Secretary General, Federation of Mining, Shriman Akshadeep Mathur. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to call upon stage the moderator of this session, Shri Arun Misra. Shri Arun Misra is a distinguished leader in the metal and mining sector with 33 years of experience. Please put your hands together for the CEO, Hindustan Zinc Limited, and Executive Director of Vedanta Limited, Shri Arun Misra. Now, stage is all yours. Here we go.
Good afternoon. Let me welcome Dr. Ranjit Bhatt, Sri David Joseph, Sri Satish Jha. Hello. Satish Jha, Sri Andrew Hall, Sri Narayani, and Sri Mathur. The way looking at the positive time. Hello. I think this. Hello. So what we'll do is, we will each one of us maybe take 2-3 minutes to speak about his own perspective on sustainability of mining. Basically, the way Mr. Ravikant has narrated out, should be looking at sustainability from the angle of profitability, sustainability from the angle of technology, sustainability from the angle of environment, sustainability from the angle of social issues. So all issues, but not that everyone has to cover all the issues, but if each one of us can blow one edge, and also looking at mine, whatever is the current situation or the conditions in the different rules and regulations, what more can be done in a very positive spirit, that something more that can be done which can make mines more sustainable, we should point it out for benefit. So maybe we'll start from Naresh ji. If we start with you, maybe a couple of minutes from your side. I have taken your mic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm Naresh. I'm representing TechSmith Foundation. TechSmith Foundation is a great initiative taken by Government of India. So TechSmith is created by Department of Science and Technology and IIT ISM Dhanbad put together. And TechSmith is primarily working on new age technology and how to bring smart, safe, sustainable mining practices in India. Come to the point of sustainability, and to add to what Principal Secretary Sir was saying. So he said that ready for uranium and further minerals. I would request you, sir, that ready for technology also. Coming from a technical background and working primarily in technical sector only, Um, we always focus that how we can bring more data into the sustainability domain. To add to what David was saying, of course, data is critical when it comes to sustainability. There are three primary aspects of data. So mines do generate a lot of data, but putting those data sets together, how do we fuse those data sets and consume more efficiently in mining practices is critical for sustainable mining. I will come to a few use cases, sir, if there is time again, because as you said that we have limited time, so I'll discuss use cases in the end if time permits.
Thank you, Nareshji. Maybe Satish, you can elaborate from your perspective.
Thank you, sir. Most respected Minister of Coal and Mines, Government of India, Minister of State of Rajasthan, respected delegates, and the panel members here. In the morning, we heard the Chief Minister saying that he wants to double the GDP of the state of Rajasthan. And the state of Rajasthan is endowed with the variety of minerals in abundance and in quality, uncomparable within the country. But the contribution in the GDP of the state, it is around only 4%. So you have a great potential to enhance its contribution in the GDP, if at all, as the Honorable Chief Minister has vision to double it. The foremost sustainability issue these days, irrespective of whether it is coal mining or metal mining, is its acceptability in the society. If you come up with a good R&R plan, a balanced societal sustainable measures, it is bound to give you a fillip. The mine will grow as well as the society will flourish. We need to have a very good R&R plan. And we generally don't pay minute planning details when we work out our R&R plans. Rather, we go by the policies of our company, but it needs to be done on case-to-case basis on the locality where we are going to mine. The second issue is environmental sustainability. The Ministry of Environment and Forest, you have to go get your environmental clearance. These days, they stress on three very specific attributes or the parameters. First, how can you maximize your plantation activities even before starting the mining? Before mining, during mining, and post-closure activities are a must. You have to produce it. Second is water management or the balance, water balance, and especially for the state of Rajasthan, where on an average you have an annual precipitation of 500 mm, you need to provide or have a very good water management plan which needs to recharge. And one aspect they do take care of, whether the final void which you will be developing, either it is the underground mine or an open cast mine, how do you intend to recharge your strata, whether you want to go for a depth of more than 30 meters, or if it is an underground mine, how do you intend to use that underground water? You must have a very good plan. If it is an underground mine, how that water can be used for the society or in the adjacent area. If in case of an open cast mine, generally it does not serve purpose if you have a depth more than 30 meters. It does not serve any purpose. We think that if we have mined up to more than 50 meters, 100 meters, or 200 meters even, but that depth, the ultimate depth, does not serve to a great extent to the water inhabitants, creatures, and which ultimately fix your nitrogen in the soil. So they require that it should be less than 30 to 40 meters at the most. So these are some of the aspects. And one thing which you are already doing well in the state of Rajasthan is that net zero activity, particularly solar power. So plantation, solar power, and water management, these are the three major issues which you must take a very good plan before you apply for EC in the MOEF. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Satishji, for elaborating so nicely about RNR, environment, water balance, mine closure. Wonderful. May I request now Dr. Ranjit Rath to talk about especially oil and gas sector and how does it mean sustainability there?
First of all, thank you very much for having me, Arun, here, respected Honorable Minister of Mines and Coal, Government of India, and we also have respected Minister of Government of Rajasthan. Before we talk about sustainability, I would like to take a cue from what Satish said. Unless we display that we are concerned about the local people, the acceptance of any mining activity will be difficult. So the existing miners or mining facilities must display. So first is the acceptance, then only people will be willing to offer their land or access to any such facilities. But that's not just one. What we need to do for me is sustainable mining is to have an array of exploration campaign to replete the resources which is getting mined. So I'm sure all of you would be aware of the recent reforms which Government of India, Ministry of Mines has taken in order to enhance the exploration efforts, both in terms of G2 and G3 level for ML and CL applications. And the recent one is the exploration license, which gives opportunity for large-scale areas to be explored. And as far as the oil and gas is concerned, we, as Oil India Limited, we operate and carry out exploration for oil and gas in Rajasthan, in Bikaner and Jaisalmer district. And we also produce crude oil and natural gas. And while doing so, we not only ensure that the local community engagement is in place, but we undertake a lot of sustainable efforts in terms of one which PS Ravikanji has showed. In terms of, in cane, we use ASP polymer flooding. In a similar manner, we use cyclic steam stimulation to enhance our production of crude oil, which maybe I'll be able to narrate in detail, but just to tell you, in the state of Rajasthan, the activity that we are doing is one of its kind in the whole world.
Thank you so much, Ranjitji. May I now ask Andrew, from mining consultants' point of view, what do you suggest for sustainability? Anything different from what India is currently doing?
Thank you, Mr. Mishra. I think to improve sustainability in mining, one of the really big opportunities is to reassess the way that we select or make our strategic choices. At the end of the day, most of the ESG footprint from mining operations is around the amount of material that we move, either the amount of material that we mine, waste and ore, and the amount of material that we process. Current way we evaluate projects is we look at the project that gives typically the best economic results, and then we go and design the mine around that. And then at the back end of the project, we worry about decarbonising, how we can reduce the impact of that particular option. If you actually incorporate the ESG inputs into the strategic decision-making process and understand that there are trade-offs between economic returns and good ESG outcomes, quite often you would forgo some of the financial benefit to achieve significantly better and lower ESG footprint. And an example of that is typically underground mines have a much lower environmental social impact than open pit mines. So if you're looking for open pit mines that might transition to underground, what that would lead you to do is, rather than take a high stripping ratio final cutback, you would typically then go and move and go underground mining earlier. And the reality is you might forgo some financial benefit, but the implications from an ESG perspective can be profound. So it's really, I think, a great opportunity that we've got is understanding that technology won't overcome all of the issues in terms of decarbonising operations in the foreseeable future. And so reassessing the way that we evaluate projects and incorporating the ESG outcomes as an integral part of that selecting the best strategy is a way of getting a much better outcome from an ESG perspective. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. David, apart from what you have presented, any more points on sustainability?
I see kind of quite an exciting future, not just for mining, but for all industries. I see that there's going to be technologies and the introduction of AI, which has the potential for significantly improving what we do. I'm thinking in terms of what I do with the mining software. So what I'm trying to do when I build in all the geology, the alteration, the geology structures, the rock masses, I'm trying to add all that information into one space, one CAD space, which I can then make good decisions from. But when I think in terms of what computer power in the future and what AI offers, it offers us the opportunity to integrate the entire mine plan from the actual exploration right through to the smelting and marketing, and not only refining that so that we get the best economic outcome, but as Andrew was alluding to, we've also got to add in sustainability and environmental and community impacts that are likely to be in there. Once we factor that all in, and we're using AI to just drive our, or guide rather, our decision-making process, because at the end of the day, I think somebody is still going to have to take responsibility for that decision. It can't be AI, it has to be us as people, and that's going to be extremely important. Now, the one thing which an earlier respondent mentioned was the importance of data. Data is going to be absolutely critical so that we can start with a baseline of what was there before we started mining, so that we can bring that back as close as possible to the in the future to what we had to restore it properly. And I think that data will be extremely important there, but also data will be important in feeding into the computer systems, the AI systems, and what they offer. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I think this is, in today's world, application of AI, ML, as well as Gen AI is the right way to go about sustainability as well. Akshadeep, anything from your side?
Honorable Minister Reddy ji, Honorable Minister Berwa ji, it's a pleasure to have you here in Jaipur. And we have heard about the sustainability aspect, so I will not deal into those areas, but I want to bring to your kind attention what Honorable Prime Minister was saying, that we have a vision of 2047. So with that vision in mind, we have to look at intergenerational sustainability from the aspect of mineral. Whether there is going to be enough land for the mineral exploration and the mineral mining to take place in the future years, in the next 20, 30, 50 years. So there has to be a provision to reserve the mining land. So what we are trying to bring to the attention of the ministry is that the country needs 2% land area absolutely allocated for mining. If we don't have that land area, the future generations will have no place to mine. So this is one very important thing which I like to bring to attention of our Honorable Minister. Currently, the entire mining that takes place in the country is in 0.2%. And we are blamed with the environmental footprint of 99%. So this is something which is a big anomaly between the reality, because I come from the grassroots and I represent the 60,000 MSME mines of the country. These MSME mines contribute 19% to the economy of the country, to the GDP, but they employ 10 million people. We are the biggest employers in the country today. So the entire mineral segment is clearly divided between the GDP generators, between the economy generators and the employment generators. So we need to have a separate regulation. Like it took us 5-7 years to get those 31 minerals out of the central system to the states. And we are again praying for 8 more minerals to be transferred to the state, because you see the scale of operation. The mine here produces only 100,000 tons, or maybe even 80,000 tons, so 50,000 tons per year, as compared to big mines of high-value minerals which produce 1 million ton to 20 million tons. So if those kind of regulatory systems are put on the small mining people, there is no question of survival of this sector. And we are about 60,000 in number. So this is a huge intergenerational security which the country needs, where the mineral has to be available for the future. So there are many more things which I would have brought to your attention, but due to paucity of time, I would hand the mic back over to Mr. Arun Mishra. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And since I have given everybody a chance, I thought I will also take my own chance to speak on few points, but very, just one coming there. I'll come back. Very brief points. What we can do, I think these are my suggestions. Every mining company knows today or tomorrow I will need forest clearance in some place or another. Can the mining company, way ahead of its time, whether they need or don't need, buy land, create forest, get it certified by the forest department as forestable, and keep that, like you do in carbon trading, keep that with you. In case tomorrow you don't need forest clearance at all, you can trade it with somebody else who needs forest clearance. Or if you need forest clearance, you keep doing forest clearance. Many of the private companies going for forest clearance only when it is needed. Otherwise, they are not doing. So that is something that can help. And when the mines are being auctioned, we can put that as a condition that how much forest clearance related land you already have could be a criteria which will help. Second, when we are determining blocks for auction, the blocks are to be defined from the basis of sustainability also. Do they have enough area for waste dumping? Do they have enough area for utility workshop? Do they enough area for training center and all that? Because and also in the environment clearance will come 1/3 greening and all that. So if all that is not there and the block size is too small, then just having a block does not ensure that it will be done sustainability, because the owner will try to then see how money can be made. Third is for value from waste, that is the tailings you generate or the waste that you generate, if can be reprocessed, because the world is now developing technology for reprocessing minerals which are very low grade, tailings or waste. In that case, instead of saying, can the premium discount be given? Suppose I have got a mine and X premium, and then tomorrow I invest technology for extracting mineral from the waste For that portion of the mineral, can a premium minus X, some delta can be given so that the investment can be justified, could be an option. Last but not the least, from my experience of 33 years, most of our mines do fall in tribal dominated areas. A mine owner has to take the responsibility of training the young generations for at least 3 to 4 years to get a job, so that unless the next generation is employed, the economic situation in the family does not change. So how do we ensure, or in the auctions when the bidder comes, what commitment they make that after we run the mine, how many jobs from the people who are not so well up we create? So that could be one option. Maybe these 3-4 things will address some of the social angst. So not taking time further, maybe a couple of questions. One, on the social front, of course we have public hearing and things like that, but everywhere we see, after the operation starts, real trouble starts or real pain starts, people start complaining the commitment made in the public hearing are not being adhered. People have, when we say 10,000 people will get job, actually 2,000 people get job. Also we know today with the automation and all that, we are having manless cars, we are having manless vehicles, we are having remote drilling. Then where is the job creation? Maybe that account, Satish ji, in case if you want to throw some light.
Sir, I would like to draw the point from Shri Akshaydeep Mathur साहब जो उन्होंने कहा, हमारे दर्शक दीर्घा में बहुत सारे माइन ऑपरेटर बैठे होंगे और प्रोस्पेक्टिव इन्वेस्टर्स भी बैठे होंगे और मन से कई सुझाव जा रहे होंगे जो कॉस्ट इनकर करता है. जब आप कॉस्टिंग करेंगे तो आपके लिए इकोनॉमिक सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो इसके लिए जहाँ स्केल ऑफ ऑपरेशंस बहुत छोटा है, इन सारे सस्टेनेबल मेजर्स को इनकॉर्पोरेट नहीं कर पाता है.
Ladies and gentlemen, together for our Honorable Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Shriman Bhajan Lalji Sharma. Very warm welcome to you, sir. बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका. And thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you for your presence. Now I request Mines and Petroleum Principal Secretary Shriman T. Ravikanta to kindly welcome and felicitate him. Give a big round of applause, everybody. One more time, please put your hands together for the Honorable Chief Minister of Rajasthan. Everybody, you all can show your love one more time. Give it up together. Thank you once again for joining us here, sir. Thank you for your presence. Thank you. Now we'll be continue with the panel discussion. Thank you.
तो जैसा मैं बोल रहा था कि सस्टेनेबल मेजर्स जब आप अडॉप्ट करेंगे और आपका स्केल ऑफ ऑपरेशंस उसको सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएगा, तो देयर आर 3 मॉडल्स. एक है कोऑपरेटिव मॉडल, एक है इंटीग्रेटर मॉडल और एक है क्लस्टर कंसेप्ट. आप इन तीनों के रूट से अपने कॉस्ट को एवरेज कर सकते हैं. एंड इफ़ यू अप्रोच योर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, उन सारे मेजर्स में आपको वो सहूलियत प्रदान की जाएगी. और ये मॉडल्स जो हैं आइसोलेशन में बहुत जगह सक्सेसफुल हुए हैं. तो ये मैं जस्ट कहना चाह रहा था श्री अक्षय जी के बातों से.
सो अक्षयदेव जी कुछ और बोलना चाहेंगे?
I think this was a very important thing which I wanted to place before the Honorable Minister today, and the Honorable Chief Minister is also here, that mining laws should protect the interest of the mining community and the leaseholders. आज के दिन जो लॉ का फ्रेमवर्क है वो हमें किसी प्रकार का ऐसा प्रोटेक्शन नहीं देता, और ग्रीन एक्टिविज्म जो है वो कोर्ट में, हाई कोर्ट में, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में सब जगह हमारे खिलाफ खड़ा रहता है. तो एक तो माइंस मिनिस्ट्री जो है वो पार्टी होनी चाहिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, हाई कोर्ट में डिपार्टमेंट होना चाहिए, ना कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट एंड फॉरेस्ट। तभी हम लोगों का मिनरल का जो है राइट प्रोटेक्ट हो पाएगा। दूसरी बात जो मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि जो रेगुलेटरी सिस्टम है उसमें एक ऐसा प्रावधान होना चाहिए कि नो माइनिंग लैंड विल बी यूज फॉर नॉन माइनिंग पर्पस विदाउट परमिशन ऑफ द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ माइंस। जो मिनरल बेरिंग एरिया है उसके ऊपर शहर बसा दिया, रोड बसा दी, गांव बसा दिया, कोई भी और अन्य इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बसा दिया, तो हमारा तो जो सदियों का जो मिनरल वेल्थ है वो ब्लॉक हो गया। तो उसको रोकने के लिए, उसको बचाने के लिए जो मैं कहता हूं 20 साल बाद मिनरल का एरिया ही नहीं बचेगा, शहर बस जाएंगे, रोड बन जाएंगे, कहां से मिनरल निकालेंगे। तो नो माइनिंग लैंड शुड बी यूज फॉर नॉन माइनिंग पर्पस विदाउट परमिशन ऑफ द माइंस मिनिस्ट्री और द स्टेट माइंस डिपार्टमेंट, जैसा भी केस हो। So this is my humble request to you, sir. And when we meet, then I'll have some more suggestions, and we'll speak to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, from the panel. Anyone from the audience, any question? Maybe one or two questions I can take. Yeah. You can speak from there.
Sir, I would like to share on illegal mining, which is a very much danger for sustainable mining. So there is lot of illegal mining going on in the countrywide, or I would say in the Rajasthan also. So you can take up this matter also in the panel.
No. Any illegal mining, any illegal activity is illegal.
Yeah,
and there are laws, and the government, both state and center, are able, and today with technology of GIS boundaries, satellite imagery,
right,
government is able to see exactly आप कहाँ माइन कर रहे हो, अगर ओपन पिट माइन है। Of course अंडरग्राउंड माइन में आप कहाँ कर रहे हो वो DGMS और IBM बता पाएंगे। It is not visible in the satellite, but all open pit minings are visible in the satellite, and I am sure authorities are there who will take due action.
When we count the whole mining, the illegal mining do not get counted actually. Many a times.
It's like when you do whole economy, the black economy is not counted. So it happens in every country.
Yeah.
Let's be positive that whenever mining is there, the regulated, governed mining is 90% of mining.
Yes.
It may be fringes, 1 or 2% here and there, which happens in every society, right? All of us are law-abiding citizens. 2% may not be law-abiding, but they are not the population. We are the population. Let's have faith in that. Any more questions? Yeah, just one. Okay, last one.
Without reference to the royalty revenue, I would like to say that why the waste at the mine, overburdens, tailings, and mineral waste are considered as minerals for royalty purpose. Why aren't they called waste only and are allowed to be cleared as waste? Why do they call for paying royalty on waste?
Okay.
If the waste are allowed, there would be enough generation of employment. People will take the overburdens, पत्थर को अलग करेंगे, dust को अलग करेंगे, mineral को अलग करेंगे. आज पत्थर की shortage है. इतना सारा overburden में पत्थर पड़ा हुआ है.
थैंक यू फॉर रेजिंग दिस। मेरा जहाँ समझ है कि कंट्री का लॉ बोलता है कि कोई मिनरल का अगर यूज़ हो रहा है, उस यूज़ से अगर इकोनॉमिक प्रॉफिट जनरेट हो रहा है, तब उसमें रॉयल्टी लग जाना चाहिए। अगर उसमें जैसे हम अगर ओवरबर्डन डंप करके छोड़ दिए, यूज़ नहीं कर रहे, बेच नहीं रहे, कहीं जा नहीं रहा है, हमको कोई एक पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है, तो उसमें रॉयल्टी लगता नहीं है। जहाँ मिनरल निकलने के बाद किसी भी फॉर्म में हो, अगर उसमें से माइनर मिनरल है, माइनर मिनरल मतलब उसमें मेटल कंटेंट बहुत कम है, ठीक है, लेकिन उसमें मतलब 5% आयरन है, लेकिन उसका यूज़ हो रहा है तो उसमें टैक्स रॉयल्टी लग रहा है। अगर अब यूज़ नहीं हो रहा, मेरा भी टेलिंग, नहीं एक मिनट, अगर मेरा टेलिंग हम अगर रखते हैं माइन में तो हमको रॉयल्टी नहीं लगता है, लेकिन उस टेलिंग से हम अगर स्टोन्स बना करके बेचेंगे, उस स्टोन से हमको प्रॉफिट मिलेगा तो उसमें रॉयल्टी लग जाएगी। ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ कंट्री का लॉ का अंडरस्टैंडिंग है। अगर कहीं गवर्नमेंट ने, अगर ये भी हमको मानना पड़ेगा, मैं भी माइनर हूँ 33 साल से, ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट में अगर छूट लगा दिया कि वेस्ट से आप कुछ भी करिए रॉयल्टी नहीं लगेगा, तो सारे मेटल वेस्ट बन जाएगा। वो भी है। तो ये ऑनेस्टली हम सबको मानना पड़ेगा कि हम सब एक मिनट, हम सबको मानना पड़ेगा कि हम लोग जैसे इंडस्ट्री चला रहे हैं, हम लोग देश का सिटीजन भी है, हमारा भी ड्यूटी है। हम जब प्रोडक्शन करेंगे, प्रॉफिट बनाएंगे, उसमें टैक्स देंगे, तभी कंट्री आगे बढ़ेगा। सो हमारा उसमें ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं है, हमारा खाली है कि और अच्छा साइंटिफिक माइनिंग करने के लिए, अगर जैसे हमने बोला कि अगर वेस्ट से हम मेटल निकालेंगे तो हमको प्रीमियम में डिस्काउंट दीजिए ताकि मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट सक्सेसफुल हो, दैट इज़ फाइन। लेकिन हम जब उसको बेचेंगे तो हम जरूर आपको रॉयल्टी देंगे, क्यों नहीं देंगे? वो तो मेरा लॉ अबाइडिंग सिटीजन होने का नाते बनता है। थैंक यू सो मच and we had a good discussion. Sorry, we don't have time. Chief Minister is here, Honorable CM is here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our moderator along with all the panelists. Thank you so much once again for joining us here. We are honored to invite you as a panelist for this session. Thank you once again. Give a big round of applause, everybody, for all the panelists and our moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to invite our guest on stage. We need your help. Everybody, please help me out to invite our Honorable Chief Minister Rajasthan, Shriman Bhajan Lalji Sharma. I request to you, sir, to kindly join us here on dais. Everybody, please put your hands together. Where's your clapping? Louder, louder applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our esteemed guest of honor, Shri G. Kishan